What's up, ladies? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the caption of the video, we are doing a freestyle set. So this is what's going to consist of, basic application and everything like that. And then I did do some 3D flower art, so that will be something that we cover as well. So before I get into the tutorial, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and go over to my Instagram, my TikTok, and follow me there as well for more like behind the scene type of content. Of course on YouTube I mainly post tutorials. So if you want to see like little, behind the scene things or little tutorials or nail hacks, whatever you want to call it, anything of that sort, make sure to check me out over there as well. So I of course start off with the same process of pushing the cuticles back and doing all of that prep as far as getting rid of the natural shine, which is what I'm doing here, getting rid of the natural oils, I guess I should say, which does help prevent lifting and helps the nails last longer. So another thing that I like to do, which I did do in the video, but I'm already past that point now, but I'll still explain it, is using my cone drill bit to go around the cuticles to get like any dead skin, any excess nail, like anything like that off to help, with lifting and stuff like that. So that's really comes in handy. It's a quick, simple step that I always recommend. And then I didn't show it, but I did clip her cuticles. That's really important as well because it just helps with the new growth that's going to come in as well as preventing lifting. So she's doing a medium square shaped set, and it's a freestyle. Every time she comes, she gets a freestyle. So I think I posted her nails once before, maybe not, but normally it's always a freestyle. Actually, it's always a freestyle. So yeah, she just wanted to do like a milky white themed set. So I did add some gold flakes, and like I said, I did do some 3D flowers, and she literally loves stones, so we do stones every single set. But yeah, so I'm just going back in with my 80/80 grit file, and I'm filing the sides at a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to of course file the free edge, which is this part right here, at a 90-degree angle to get that nice crisp and clean shape. So one thing that you guys are going to see is that her ring finger on this hand, after I filed, I felt like was a little crooked. So I did take that off and reapply new nail tip and refile it. I didn't show that just because I felt like it was kind of unnecessary, but I did figure I would tell you, so you can know like what's going on, because I think you will see in the video that I do kind of like go to take the nail tip back off. But yeah, so like I always say, make sure you're turning the hand into different positions, looking at it from different angles, and doing so will show you exactly what I seen when I just did that, was that the nail tip was crooked. So as you can see, it's nice and straight now. So I'm just going in with my Mia Secret dehydrator, which helps one last little run of getting any natural oils off. And then this is my Young Nails Protein Bond, which is really, really important. It works so fabulous. It helps with the acrylic adhering. So I definitely, those are 1,000 out of 10 products. They've never done me wrong. I literally can count on one hand how many clients I've had that have had, lifting, like bad lifting or breaks or anything like that. So yeah, I definitely recommend that. Of course, there's a lot of other things that can cause lifting that you have to take into account, but like as far as them lifting because of poor prep, that has, like I said, I can count on one hand how many times that has happened. And sometimes you get like a bad batch of things, so don't always like beat yourself up about it if it happens. But if it starts to happen back to back or consistently, then you'll know like, okay, maybe there's something that I need to do different. But normally I say that you can tell. It's very rare that you'll get a bad batch of something, but if there's like clients that you've done back to back to back, or all in the same week, or something like that, and they're all having the same issue, then 9 times out of 10 you probably had got a batch of a certain product that was bad. But like I said, don't beat yourself up about it. It does happen. It's very rare, but yeah. So I'm just going in with my Milky White. This is called Snowberry by Sugar and Cream. I love them. They're Instagram based brand. I love them so much. I literally swear by them. I have so many acrylics from them, and I don't have one single acrylic that I don't like or that gives me issues. So I love them so much. Normally it takes about 2 weeks for their shipping, which isn't too bad, but like it's definitely not like a last minute type of place that you can order from. You do need to order ahead, but they come through for sure. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is like a Milky White themed set. So on the pinky and the middle finger, we are going to add some gold. I don't even want to call them foil. I guess I should more so say flakes, because they're not really foil consistency. They're really, I don't even know what to call them, but it's not foil. So I'll just say gold flakes. But and then we're going to add some stones and yada yada yada. You'll see at the end. But I always, tell you to work your way up from the bottom to the cuticle. And as you can see, like in this video, I am using more than my normal 3 beads, just because, like I tell you guys all the time, it really just depends on the set you're doing. And like there's so many different factors you have to take into consideration. The acrylic you're using, the shape, the length, the set, the design, like everything of that nature. So most of the time for a basic, set, I normally only do have to use about 3 or 4 beads. But in this case, with the white being so milky, I didn't want it to be completely see-through, but of course I didn't want to use like that solid white acrylic. So I did have to, well, I didn't have to, but I chose to use more beads than normal, just so it could still have the milky look but not be so translucent. So that's what I felt was best for this set. And of course, always wipe around the cuticles to get any excess acrylic off, and make sure that you don't have any flooding of the cuticle, because that will cause lifting. And go back in with any acrylic if you need to. You'll see, like on some nails, I'm going back in with another bead and just placing it right at the apex, just to give it a little bit more foundation and build it up just a little more. Because you guys know, I've said this once before and I'll say it again, you don't need big fat nails to have a secure nail set. As long as your apex is good, you're good. That's the main focus, because 9 times out of 10, when if a nail is going to break, I should say, it's going to break at the apex. That's like the heart of the nail. So that's what needs to be built up, and that's what needs to be on point, because if that's on point, it's very rare that your nail will break. So yeah, class is over. But anyways, I didn't decide to do the gold flakes until I got to this nail, which is why you'll see me go back to the pinky and add them. I don't know what I was thinking. I just kind of, it's a freestyle. So sometimes I plan ahead. Sometimes I just kind of go as I am working, which is kind of what I did in this case. So I really like this white though, you guys. Like, it's super pretty. I'm glad that she chose this. And we've been doing, this is like really out of I'm sorry. This is really out of her comfort zone, because so she's done a few sets before this one, and she normally does like very different, I don't want to say different colors because they're basic colors, but it's not like the typical nail color. Well, it's not the typical color that you'd see someone get on their nails, I guess I should say. So when she switched over to do white for this full set, it was like, oh, okay, cool. So these are like the flakes, and like as I apply them and pick them up, you'll kind of see why I call them flakes rather than foil, because foil is more, I guess, like, you can pick that up piece by piece and you can control it way better. With this, it's kind of like you just pick up a whole glob kind of and just work around and play with it. So I got these off of Amazon, super cheap, and it came in like this, I know you guys only see one right there, but it came in like this big old pack with so many different things, and it was a very good price. I can't remember, but I know it was no more than $12. And as you can see, it has so many colors, and like I said, that's not the only pack. So to apply this, I literally just had my brush a little wet from dipping in the monomer, and I was just dabbing it in the flakes and putting them on the nail. And they stayed. I did notice that sometimes it would be just one big piece or a whole bunch of pieces together, so I would have to wipe it on my napkin. or my towel, whatever you want to call that, and then just, kind of play with it, spread it out, to get more on or get more off, depending on, like the nail I was working on. But I did go back in with clear and encapsulated this, because obviously, since it's, flakes, if I was to go back over it with my e-file, it would just file it right off. So that's another reason why, when applying the acrylic on those two fingers anyways, I didn't really like go too heavy with the white, because I knew I was going to go back in to cap it with the clear. So you don't, something to keep in mind is, if you're doing encapsulation, you do not have to build up the nail so much like with the base color, because then when you go back in to cap it with the clear, it's just going to be too thick and you're going to spend more time filing it off than you need to. So like for in this case, if I knew that I was going to cap it with clear, just do a nice, decent thinner base with the in this case it'll be white. Do your foil or whatever it is you want to encapsulate, and then go back over with the clear, and by the time it's capped, it'll be nice and right where it should be, so it's not too fat, not too thin. And I just did the same method, worked my way up, and it's nice. This was nice because of course you have to make sure that the acrylic is not super runny, but make sure that it's not super dry either, because if it's super dry, obviously it's just not going to apply correctly. But if it's super runny, I have noticed that sometimes it will just obviously run down the nail, but it'll also like pull whatever it is that I'm trying to encapsulate with it. Most of the time that happens. So just get like a nice consistent bead, that way when you place it, and just kind of pat it and feather it down, because remember ladies, you're not dragging it, you're not pulling it, you're just simply patting and feathering it down very lightly. But that way when you do that, it's only working the acrylic down, nothing else, nothing more. So yeah, the rest of the nails, I just pretty much did basic application, and then the design came in at the end. So I will let you guys just watch that, and I'll jump back in at the next part. So now we're just going back in with that same file and literally doing exactly what we did when prepping the nails, just cleaning them up. Actually, we're doing less because you don't have to file as much, but just going back in on the sides and cleaning them up, and definitely making sure that we clean up the free edge as well. And as you guys can see, when I go to start filing the nail, I am making sure to get that file underneath the nail tip, because sometimes you can have, like, you know, acrylic that kind of spilled over from the application process. Sometimes the nail tip can be a little rigid, sometimes the acrylic can be a little rigid underneath there. So you just like to clean, you know, get under there so you can clean it up and make sure it's nice and straight and uniform with the rest of the nail. It does make a difference. I have, like, when I first started, I didn't really used to do that, and the nails would be super cute from the top, but yeah, from the bottom no. So that definitely played a part. And look how clean they are, like literally so clean, because as you guys see, you know, I just filed them pretty quick, but the application was clean. That is key. I say that every video. I'm going to continue to say that every video that I do a voiceover on. The smoother, like, work smarter and not harder. The smoother you do your prep, the better your application will be, and the less you'll have to do in the end. The less you'll have to file, the less you'll have to clean up, the less you'll have to, you know, take off. So it's, like I said, work smarter and not harder. It will really pay off in the long run. So now I'm going to go in with that same sanding band that I used earlier, and I'm just going to work around the cuticles. I always go from right to left, but I mean, I'm right-handed, so it may be different from you, but do whatever is comfortable. But definitely it's important to get around the cuticles and not take off too much, of course, but take off enough, because this is a big part in the lifting, or preventing the lifting, I should say. This is just sealing down that acrylic and getting it to where it needs to be. That way, when the natural nail grows out more, it will be nice and flush with the cuticle. Nothing will be lifting. It'll just be really nice and clean. And then, as you see, I'm like kind of going in the curve of the nail and just slightly filing right there, just to get any like acrylic, since I do, like, you know, when I'm applying it, pat my brush up against the end to make it nice and clean and straight. Sometimes some acrylic does sneak under there, so I like to just get that way, you know, from every look it'll be nice and clean, and you won't see any like lumpy acrylic beads hiding under there. So I definitely recommend doing that. And you want to keep your file moving. Don't leave it in one spot too long, because you know that will cause friction, and friction will cause burning. You guys, my tongue is just all twisted right now. But yeah, those looked so nice. So now we're just buffing it out. This literally takes like 30 seconds, and this is important because when you go to do any design or polish or anything, even just clear coat, you will see all the scratches or all the like anything from that e-file or the regular file, you will see on there if you don't use the buffer most of the time. So definitely do that. And then I just always go through, I don't ever film it, but I always go through and just wipe the nails off with some acetone to get like any excess dust off. And so this finger I'm going to be doing some 3D flower art on, so I'm just going in with the clear coat. That way, I don't like to put the clear coat over top of the flowers because it just kind of takes away from the look. So I do the clear coat first, and then I cure it for 60 seconds. That way the background can, like the base of the nail can be shiny, and then the flowers will stand out more. So I let that cure, and then I just went back in with my Macart rhinestone gel, and I just placed 2 stones on. This is going to be like the center of my flower. I always do this first before doing my flowers because of course it gives me the foundation. And then the pinky and the ring finger are going to stay, I'm sorry, the pinky and the middle finger are going to, that's the only design they're pretty much getting. So I went ahead and applied the clear coat just to finish those off. And then we are going to add some jewels on the pointer and the thumb. So as you can see, I'm doing the same, I'm using the same product, the Macart rhinestone glue, and I'm just kind of, ran that over across the nail, and I'm using this brush to spread it out nice and even, because when this dries, it kind of acts as like a clear coat. You don't really need anything else on it, so you don't want it to be lumpy or, bubbly. You want it to be nice and smooth so you can apply your stones and dry it, and then it'll be exactly how it needs to be. So these were kind of, the thumb and the pointer finger actually were just like free. I didn't really have anything in mind. I just kind of went, I guess I should say, place the stones as I went. I didn't really have like a specific idea in mind or anything, which I do that a lot with freestyles. I just kind of go where my hand takes me and do what I think is cute. So yeah, just did like a little freestyle, free-handed jewel kind of look. And of course, I guess it really just depends on what's comfortable, but I do always say, especially when applying as many jewels that I am, even just already, like even if it's just 1 or 2 jewels, I always say to place it under the lamp and let it cure. Usually after, at least with all the nail glues I've used, well, rhinestone glues I've used, just letting it dry for about 5 seconds, literally 3-5 seconds, it'll get it in place enough to the point like you can pull the hand back out and work on it and not have to worry about any stone slipping. That was the thing that I used to do when I first started nails, was trying to do all the stones at once. But I would, if it's just like 1 or 2, then cool, but like even still, I just always do one finger and place it under the dryer, because they used to run all over, and I would spend so much time trying to put the jewels back where they were, keep fixing them, keep moving them, and it just literally wasted so much time. It was so much easier to just place the stones, put it under, and be done with the fingers. So here I just decided to kind of go around the cuticle area and just do, as you see in the middle, I started with the big stone, and I just kind of went back and forth between a smaller stone and a bigger stone, just giving it a different look. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm recording this late at night, and I'm super, super tired. I had such a long day, but anyways, just wanted to say that. So that was pretty much the design I did on the thumbs, just something simple. And now I'm going back in. Every nail is done besides this one. I'm just going back in with a nail art brush that it's like a pack that I got off of Amazon. And as you guys see, I keep kind of like, I'll dip it in my monomer, and then I'll kind of like brush the sides on the napkin because I'm trying to give it back that pointed shape. And so what you do is you'll pick up a small bead and just place it where you want it to go, and kind of let it like dry for just a minute. You don't want it to be too wet because it'll just run, and you don't want it to be too dry because then you can't do anything with it. So get it, like right in the middle, and then you can kind of place it and let it just, dry for just a minute. And it's so simple, you guys. With your pointed brush, you just simply press down and drag out a little bit. Press down and drag out a little bit. Sometimes you don't even need to drag out. Sometimes you just need to press with the point of the brush, and it will give a nice, flower petaled look. And this is like the basic flower. I know sometimes people do like different shapes and a whole bunch of other stuff, but this is just my go-to. I love the way that these look. And sometimes, you guys, you might see that even after you press it, the acrylic is kind of like going back into a ball, so you might have to go back and press down on it a few more times, but usually not more than just a few, and then it'll begin to set, and then you'll be all set. And I really, really love the look of these flowers, you guys. Like, I really plan on doing a set of the whole like every finger just a whole bunch of flowers. I think that would be so cute. And I know it looks hard, I know it sounds hard, but trust me, you guys, this is literally my third time doing this. Would you believe that? My third time doing 3D flowers. And like, I must say, they look really good. And yeah, it just takes practice. So I think the biggest part is just getting the right consistency of your bead, because you don't, like I said, you want it to be like right in the middle. That way it won't take too long to dry. You can just simply press down with your point, and then it will, after just a few seconds, start to set. Another thing you can do is like, when you go to press down to give it that little indentation, you can kind of hold it right there for a minute to give it more time to set but not run or go anywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. And then I don't, like I said, I don't put the clear coat over top after I do the 3D flowers. I just let it be. So that's why I normally save that step for very last. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And of course, you know, I always add in the finished look, which will be coming up here. But yes, they're so cute and I love them so much. And she loved them as well. Another thing I want to say real quick with the 3D flowers is that definitely always do one bead at a time, and just take your time with these, because you don't want to, like, you know, smush them or do too much. So yeah, this is the finished look and I love them so much. Like, they're so freaking classy and just so cute. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and go follow me on my social medias for more. And I know I already mentioned this, but make sure you subscribe, because I am going to be doing a major nail giveaway. So you don't want to miss out on that. It's definitely going to be worth the wait. So until next time.